not yet. They are going to be joining us, so wait for the surprise on that. In the wild card round, the Chiefs shut down the explosive Dolphins offense in a 26-7 win where the wind chill got to negative 27 degrees at Arrowhead Stadium. That is unreal. The next week, in the first road playoff game that Patrick Mahomes ever played, the Chiefs knocked off the Bills 20-17. Travis Kelce caught 2 TDs, and the Bills missed a game-tying field goal with under 2 minutes left. That was a heartbreaker. And in the Chiefs' 6th straight AFC title game, unreal. The defense stepped up, held Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to just 10 points, forced 3 turnovers, in a 17-10 win in Baltimore. So the Chiefs have had the most losses they've had with Patrick Mahomes as a starter this season all year. We've talked about the receiver drops and the miscues, and yet here they are in the Super Bowl again. And see, guys, I promised you, P-Max in the house and Louis Riddick. Pat, Louis, how we feeling this morning, fellas? Super Tuesday, let's get it.
Fantastic. I wish I looked as good as Louis Riddick, though. Look how handsome that man is on the other side of the screen. Yep. Look how handsome that man is.
Yep. Moonlights as a model.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get up the courage to wear a tank top on TV. So I'm gonna try that one of these times, though.
Hey, I have seen Lewis unbutton them buttons a couple more down too. You know what I mean? So he's conservative. He's conservative, Lou, right now. He's conservative. Yeah, that Vegas look's gonna look a little different. A little different out there.
Louis, when we go out to Vegas, I mean, you could go for it. If you want to go 3 buttons, you could do it. Yeah. Yep.
All right, I got you. I'll loosen up.
And I'm just going to work on the tricep dip, so maybe someday I can wear a tank top on TV like Pat, too.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some reps, Pat. We'll get there. Pat, tell me this. Will Mahomes get a pass if the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl? Just considering what I said, right? Like with this, how this season played out, we didn't even think that they would be here.
Molly, obviously, I'm a massive fan of yours, and I understand the First Take is the greatest television show in sports history, all right? But the whole will Mahomes get a pass if the Chiefs lose Sunday was emailed to me this morning, and I had no idea what that means. What does that mean? Will Mahomes get a pass if the Chiefs lose on Sunday? Does this guy stink if he loses to the San Francisco 49ers? Patrick Mahomes, a man who's been to 6 straight AFC championship games, has already won 2 Super Bowls, is already on a Mount Rushmore, and already in the Hall of Fame in everybody's eyes. But if he loses to the San Francisco 49ers, who are favored in the Super Bowl, this guy stinks. I think everything about him is terrible. He's bad at football, and I will not give him a pass. I don't know how you're supposed to answer that. I have no idea how you're supposed to answer if you give him a pass or not. He's phenomenal. What he's done to start his career is absurd. He's 28 years old. They already got him in the Hall of Fame on Mount Rushmore. They're already comparing him to potentially Tom Brady, who was something that we never thought would ever happen again. And boom, here we are with a guy that likes ketchup and Coors Light. It's just like, I love everything about what Patrick Mahomes has done since getting the starting job, since Alex Smith passed it off to him in the last week of the season whenever they were resting their starters against the Denver Broncos. He's a gamer, he's competitive, he's athletic, he's humble, he's selfless. He'll do whatever they call for him to do to win the game, and he has all the talent in the world. It's the Super Bowl. He's taking on a Niners defense that is phenomenal. Will we give him a pass if he can't beat him? I'd hope so, because what we've seen from this man is nothing short of greatness. Jeffrey Saturday.
100% agree. I had the same response. I was like, what do you mean give them a pass? I was like, there's no pass required. To get them to the Super Bowl was a dang near miracle. He had more drops in a season than in the NFL. It is insanity. And by the way, he called his own shot. When he threw it to MVS and overthrew him by a yard, he's like, well, next time I'll throw it a yard shorter, and he'll make. What's he do to get in the Super Bowl? Throws it a yard shorter. It hits him square in between the numbers where MVS does make the catch. They proceed on to the next Super Bowl. It is absolutely absurd at how good this guy is and what he's been able to do. So for sure, he gets as many passes as he needs to take this team to the Super Bowl if they don't somehow finish this thing off with a Super Bowl victory. He is absolutely insane. Every player who listens to him wants to play for him. Guys look at him. He elevates everybody else around him. He's phenomenal, irrespective of how this game ends up.
Agreed.
Louis?
All right. So let me start by saying this, okay? Before Patrick Mahomes even played a down, somebody in this 3 box right here said that he would win an MVP, throw for over 40 touchdowns, and be the greatest thing we've seen take a ball from center in the past 30 years. Somebody said that.
That wasn't
Somebody
me.
said
Jeff.
that on
I
live
will
TV.
co-sign
Somebody said that.
Louis Riddick.
Deb,
I will co-sign. I was a part
Somebody
of this.
said that.
I was on the show at that point.
Okay.
You did absolutely say that, and you were ahead
So I
of
just
the
want.
curve.
So I wanted. So that being said, Patrick is operating on a different playing field right now. He's operating on a different playing field. Okay, Patrick's supposed to produce miracles. Patrick's being compared to the GOATs, right? Patrick right now is already like Pat. You already said Patrick's being compared to the greatest to ever play the game. Period. Forget just quarterback. He's gonna be soon. He's gonna start elevating into the conversation of is he the greatest football player of all time? Period. Okay. So with that being said, if he loses this football game, regardless of how they got there, when you say will I give him a pass? No, only because I'm judging him on historical levels now. Because he's gotten his football team there. Okay? He's gotten the team there with maybe the most depleted set of weapons that he's had since he went to Kansas City, right? So he's already performing miracles in that regard. Right. And San Francisco is considered to be all season long the best football team in football. I mean, the best roster in football. Kyle Shanahan, despite the fact that he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, the best coach in football. He has the best scheme in football. You can't stop it. They have the best defense in football. Their front seven wrecks everything. Fred Warner is the best thing since Dick Butkus, which I almost believe, by the way. And, Dre Greenlaw is his sidekick. They play flawless football. But you know what? They have shown some vulnerabilities. This football game is a lot closer than I think many people think it's going to be. And I do think this. If Patrick is to lose to, here's the kicker. And see, Pat, I'm with you on Brock Purdy. I've heard you talk about Brock Purdy, and you know how I feel about Brock Purdy. I'm tired of the slander. We went on about it already earlier on this morning. But if Patrick loses, so to speak, to Brock Purdy, you think people are going to give him a pass? Because people don't want Brock Purdy to win this football game. You know that, right? Because then they're going to have to twist themselves up in a pretzel going, how in the hell did Mr. Irrelevant beat Patrick Mahomes? And then you know what? They won't concentrate on Brock Purdy. They'll turn to Patrick Mahomes. And they'll try and find anything they possibly can to say this is why you didn't elevate your football team. So I don't think he's going to get a pass. I don't think, and you know what? If I were him, I wouldn't want one. I wouldn't want one. I'd say bring it. Bring it. You think my receivers drop passes? I don't have a lot of weapons. This is one of our weaker teams. It's a defensive-driven football team. Bring it. We'll see what happens in a week.
I love it. I absolutely love everything you just said there, Louis. And I have heard you stick up for Brock Purdy. And shout out to you having a big brain, calling not only Patrick Mahomes being everything that he already is before he even stepped foot into the NFL, but for sticking up for a second-year guy in Brock Purdy. And I think it's interesting, because obviously Patrick Mahomes will get buried if he loses to Mr. Irrelevant on the biggest stage, even though Mr. Irrelevant is favored to win this game with the team that they have. But a lot of people want to see Patrick Mahomes lose. A lot of people want to see this Kansas City Chiefs team lose. A lot of people are calling for Brock Purdy, a man just 3 weeks ago was a game manager and a checkdown king and not that good of a football player. They're saying, hey, you're our final hope to knock Taylor Swift and Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes off this pedestal that we never had. It's been a wild roller coaster of emotions towards this dynasty that we're watching build right in front of us. But to your point, what we're seeing here with this Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs dynastic build is something that happened so quickly, so fast. And at the age of 28, I think we're all having nostalgia of what the Patriots were able to do. So they've become the heels. They become the villains. And if Patrick Mahomes does lose this, he will certainly get attacked by people that love attacking people just to make themselves feel better. For sure.
I don't know about this. Like a lot of villains, all this kind of thing. Andy Reid is like the most beloved guy ever to coach in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes. Everybody loves Mahomes. I'm not sure. I mean, I like the chip that they use that they feel vilified, but like Brady wasn't vilified nearly as much as you guys think. And I was in Indy as we're getting beat by him, so I know. But it was more Belichick. Andy Reid has never gotten in that category. And listen, what Mahomes has already done is insane. But this guy, I mean, if you can't give him house money now, I'm not sure when he ever gets.
You think he's being vilified? Because I thought it's just more Chiefs fatigue. People just wanted to see someone new in the Super Bowl.
Patrick?
Yeah.
People didn't want Patrick and didn't want the Chiefs to beat Baltimore. People were pissed off that they beat Baltimore. That it wasn't a Baltimore-Detroit. You know what? From what I have heard, people wanted it to be a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That that was what
Yeah.
people wanted to see, and they are tired of seeing Patrick, come out there and be the guy who they can't find any flaws with, both on the field or off the field. People are tired of it. That's what I'm saying. If he loses this game, you are going to see people come down and go, finally, you lost to Mr. Irrelevant. They're going to forget about Brock Purdy. They won't give Brock Purdy his credit. They'll focus on Patrick. Watch if that's what happens. They will focus on him. Because nobody wants to give Brock credit. Are you kidding me? They don't want to give him any credit.
Yeah. No, you're right. That might be a storyline if he loses to Mr. Irrelevant. Absolutely. I just don't think of Patrick Mahomes or Andy Reid as villains. Bill Belichick maybe was, but I do understand what you're saying about fatigue. Because I was someone who wanted to see Baltimore and Detroit as well. And speaking of some other cities, I got something special for you here, PMAC. Listen up.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn quay trở lại với mình, đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ dẫn các bạn tô màu sản phẩm con bưởi ơi. Bây giờ chúng ta cùng bắt đầu thôi.
Mình sẽ tiếp tục đi tô màu nha các bạn nhé. Giờ mình đến chuyên mục gọt mò các bạn ơi. Rồi mình sẽ gọt mò nha các bạn nhé. Đâu gọt được nữa.
Tốt cái vào tay.
Thách. Rồi đéo bắt đầu phải vào tay. Cái thằng ngu mà nó vào tay thôi nè. Ta cấp vào mạnh. Trời đấy đấy, còn màu xanh đấy các bạn. Trời.
Cái mắt đầu này. Ăn cho không thể nghe nó không có đời.
Được rồi, nhiều điều anh vẫn muốn nói. Tay anh đây, con tim em đã bối rối. Anh thay đổi, anh còn chưa có câu trả lời.
Cắm triệu một mé rồi.
Con bướm xinh một tình đẹp nhé.
Ăn đi 324, 2 triệu không?
Chịเอาcái bát để
Và làm đi. Lương sáng tạo. Tao bảo cái kia rồi mẹ 7 triệu một mé, mày chết. Sao? Nhân cái này 724. Ai thế? 724.
Không gọi à?
Rồi. Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục đi tô màu nha các bạn. Như vậy là mình đã hoàn thành xong bức tranh của mình các bạn ạ.
Trong ký mạng kìa.
Cho mình xin like là kênh để ủng hộ mình nhé.
Vai lượt cái mẹ. Cái tiền đó đã ký đi. Này có ve ve 100.000 cho nó tròn. Cái mẹ. Mẹ điên ghê đấy. Lại bắt chiếc bố mày thì đang tròn. Mẹ đéo con lợn này va vặn.
Có cái kiểu người thích dùng tiền tài khoản không thích dùng tiền mặt cơ.
Cái gì?
Cái cứt.
Dùng tiền mặt đi, không mày dùng. Thế nào Tết mày em phải đấy mà rồi, Tết phải rút ra. Đéo này rồi. Nhưng mà đéo giờ rút hết đấy. Xả à. Bây giờ làm tóc với bà anh kia rồi, chuyển hết cho anh kia rồi anh kia trả cái gì. Ngu mẹ. Giờ mày muốn rút ra thì kiểu hết rồi. Làm tóc thì chắc mất 200-300. Rẻ. Đấy, sao cắt tóc luôn, sải đặc cấp. Đéo giờ cắt cái mẹ đéo phải cắt mà tê cắt.
Chẳng bao giờ tên mình cắt 1 tháng nữa mới Tết, hơn tháng nữa.
Nhảy, tao em có mỏng nhanh đâu, tao em xoắn nó mọc lục lắm.
Lâu thì lâu.
Kìa, sao cắt luôn, sao làm tóc luôn. Năm nay thì toàn đi đấy sau tôi cắt xong làm tóc luôn, làm tóc xong cắt cho nó dài. Tốt xanh đẹp. Vậy là mình đã đi tô màu xong các bạn tính một tô màu đẹp hè cho xin like đăng ký kênh, cảm ơn tất cả các bạn.